Hey there, and welcome to the People Who Help People podcast. This is the spot for HR and people ops pros who are all about building better businesses by putting people first. We chat with founders and experts who've been there, done that, and are generous enough to share what actually works. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Catiana Ibarra, partner at PeopleLift, about positioning firms to win bigger, better clients while leveraging the best technology to drive the best outcomes. Founded in 2017, PeopleLift was named one of America's fastest growing companies in both 2023 and 2024. Catiana focuses on the LATAM market, specializing in construction, IT, and data management. Welcome to our podcast, Catiana.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So, Catiana, tell me a little bit more about PeopleLift.
PeopleLift is a company that rise for because we care. Our founder made it in the back in 2017. He saw that the recruiting HR consulting were lacking that human factor, making sure that the candidates knew about the positions, but at the same time, clients were receiving the candidates that they were expected. And that experience was a positive one for both sides. So we strive ourselves at all client levels, communications to see, understand what is our client needs, but at the same time, making sure that that candidate experience is one that they are going to be talking about, even if they are not the candidate selected.
Okay, so always try for a positive candidate experience, even if it wasn't successful this time. I think that's a good outcome, and we do because we care is a wonderful motto. So how long have you been working in a partner role at PeopleLift?
I have been doing it for the past 2 years.
2 years?
2 years I have been doing it as a partner, and my main goal is to help both sides in the Latin American community, especially in Puerto Rico, but also stateside as well.
Let's focus on the LATAM market for a moment, if you don't mind. What are some of the differences or similarities? How have you helped bridge into that market for PeopleLift?
There's a huge need in Puerto Rico, especially of organizations that need to hire or need someone that comes with a background of human resources that they can consult. They can be able to come in and help them out in regards of all the structure of the organization. At the same time, we have a very talented, experienced, well-educated pool of candidates that don't know how to interview. It's not that they don't have the experience or the knowledge, is that they don't interview all the time. So they don't know how to answer the questions about themselves, how to create their own resume. So it is our responsibility in this sector to be able to help these candidates out so they can feel proud of what they do in the interview, even though if they are not selected. And in regards of our clients, help them out on being compliant in trainings, development, SOPs, for them not to have any fees that is going to cost them money just because they didn't know. They want to be in compliance, but they didn't know how to do it.
Sure. So is your typical client based outside of the island looking to say hire or grow on the island, or what's the mix there?
I have both. I have people in Puerto Rico right now. We have a law that is Law 60 that invites entrepreneurs from the States to come to the island to create jobs for the Puerto Ricans. And so I do assist those type of clients not only with the recruitment of those people, but how are the Puerto Rican labor laws that is so different from stateside? What do you need to do as a structure for you to be in compliance? And at the same time, if they need any assistance in regarding of where they can establish their offices, what they need to have in regards of documentation, that we help them out as well.
It sounds like a rather full, it goes well beyond just recruiting.
Yes, because remember, at the end of the day, we do because we care. If we only do recruitment, there's still going to be some areas that need help. So that's why we don't come in with a mentality of hey, we can help you with recruitment. It is more of every time that I have a call with a client is what is your organization and what are you seeing right now? What are your troubles? What is your situation that you need to be fixed? And then we provide alternatives after that conversation.
So it sounds like talent acquisition at the core, but part of it too is making sure that those businesses are either growing or establishing themselves well in the market. So you're somewhat of a full service provider that goes just beyond talent acquisition or beyond
Exactly. It's
just
just
talent acquisition. Go ahead.
making our clients happy. That's our end goal. If they need, for example, I have a client that is an European organization that just started their business in Texas. They wanted someone that could come in and help them out with their daily situations. If that is my pocket, no. I run with them. I have a recruitment agreement, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to help them out because they need to. That way, my candidates are happy with the organization and the organization is not needing to focus on those tasks and they can focus on what they need to in order to continue to grow the business.
Terrific. I like that broader approach. So tell me about the awards. Tell me what's driven this high growth that you've experienced and been recognized for.
We, first of all, hard work, dedication, and not being as other companies into the industry. They do their own thing. They are amazing recruiters and especially in on the specific markets. But what we strive to be different is that you're not going to only have a recruiter. You're going to have someone that is going to come in and help you out the best of their abilities in order for you to satisfy that need and be able to get to the other stage. And that's something that has made us be recognized, but at the same time, have a referral of clients that are coming in because someone else received our services and they were happy with.
Terrific. Many companies boast that they've built their business on referrals. Are yours different? Or and if so, how?
We like to make noise. So what it is, yes, we are a company that is widely, most of our clients have come from referral, but at the same time, we're very active in our communities. Our founder and the owner of all the areas, Tim Biscani, is a member of the Fayette Chamber of Commerce. We are in the Latin ACMA, that is the Atlanta Chamber for Construction Workers in the state side. I am a member of this SHRM, that is the Human Resources Society. I am a member also of other organizations that their focus is providing assistance to business owners, entrepreneurs, or organizations for them to continue to do the work. And another one that I'm very passionate about is that I'm a member or a volunteer of a committee that strives to help this new generation of organizations and entrepreneurs to create their own business and at the same time help them out with all the different areas that they don't know. Like, for example, they don't know they are very technologically inclined, but they don't know HR, they don't know finance, they don't know the paperwork to be in compliance. So we come in as volunteers and help them out on those areas.
I didn't realize you were talking about volunteer work. So that volunteer work, does that often lead to paid work as you with the
Everything
folks that you're
comes with,
serving?
yes, because remember something, and this is really important. You can have the best product or service out there, but if your voice or your name is not out there as well, people are not going to be reaching out because you're competing with companies that have been here for many, many years that people know, understand, and they will be like, why do I need to consider a newcomer when I already have this X, Y, and Z company? So letting them having this type of experience, being active in LinkedIn, making sure that you're helping out in the community is making others be aware that you are here and that you want to help them out. We're not just another company. We are here because we know about our service, our product, and we can deliver what we promise.
Tell me about a typical community event. One, maybe a recent one of which you're particularly proud.
It is called Be Emprende. That is for the entrepreneurs here in the island of Puerto Rico. I was called in to be a mentor for people that wanted to discuss their product and services. It was a K 5,000 assistants, if I'm not mistaken. So it was huge. But listening to this younger generation that was excited about creating someone, and when you were able to just with a few questions, coaching, blind them into them be successful, I still have calls from them up to this date. And that happened a month ago because they are so grateful because we took the time to listen. And that's something that is invaluable in my case as a professional.
I imagine it wasn't just taking time to listen, but also to give back, to coach, to guide, to offer support.
Yeah, it's especially remember we're in an age that a lot of doors get closed all the time, especially if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you have an idea and everyone is saying, I don't think it's a good one. But if you go the other way around and start doing coaching, questions, why do you think it's a good alternative? What are the costs? What are you going to be looking for in the next 3, 6, 18 months, then their mind, I don't know if you have experienced it, you can see it in in their eyes that they get excited and they're like, I'm finally talking to someone that is speaking my language. And that's something that we need to be grateful for because at one moment in our lives, we were them. So why not pay back?
I like that payback mentality. And we do because we care.
Exactly.
So, a subtitle of this podcast is called While Leveraging the Best Technology to Drive the Best Outcomes. And I'll admit I stole that from your website because I like the phrase, but I also liked what was behind it. So you've started to talk a little bit on LinkedIn about the use of AI. You've talked about it on your website. Tell me more, perhaps what you're doing within PeopleLift and why you think this is important.
AI is something that is not going to go away. AI is here to stay, and you can do two things: or hide from it, and then it's too late for you to adapt, or understand the value of AI and be like, you know what, I'm going to learn the most that I can, but also be a pioneer and mentor for others that are not using it in order to learn. Because I have said it a bunch of times. No, the AI is not going to substitute human work. It's just going to make it easier for you to be at your house at dinner time so you can have food with your family instead of being at your computer working because it didn't make sense. You didn't finish your work. So how do we use it? We use AI to the best of our ability in order to have a candidate experience that is going to be a positive one, but most of all, transparent. So what we use it is for to provide the clients in their candidate's own words why they feel that is a good candidate for the role. We have seen it in the past that a lot of recruiters, when they get so excited about the roles that they like to sell the candidate even more than usually happens. And when they get to the interview, they're like, but wait a second, Catiana told me this. Catiana wrote about this. And when he went to the interview, the candidate couldn't answer those questions. So that's why we like to provide the use of AI, using those tools for the candidates and the clients to know a candidate, they are going to know that their word is being heard, not only by me, but by the clients. And the clients will be like, you know what? I can trust what they're presenting because I'm seeing it by myself, from myself.
Got it. What tools do you use to create these outcomes?
Oh, what I don't use.
Huh? Okay. Well,
I
I like
love
on the
that.
podcast, a
I
lot of
love
people listen for, ooh, what can I use? So if there's a particular tool or two that you use frequently and you've found maybe tricks to share with others, that's what I'm after.
It's very simple. The first one, you spend most of your day and time organizing your day or your next day or your week in regards to appointments, interviews, scheduling. What do I need to do? A report. I use Calendly to schedule all my calls so candidates will feel secure that I'm not fraud or not spam because they're scheduling it themselves. I use ChatGPT, Gemini.com, Claude, in order for me to show them this is my calendar, this is all my normal tasks for this week. How may I organize myself in order to be working what I need to be working on, and at the same time provide that space of having a work-life balance? That is so important right now because us recruiters and HR, we can be picking up a phone at 10 o'clock at night because someone had an accident while working and you need to resolve. So it's just making those boundaries that is helping me, that is helping my team in order to be successful without needing to be working 12, 18 hours a day. And there's platforms that also can record your conversation like we are doing it right now, that is helping us be more transparent with our clients when we are presenting.
I'm going to ask the opposite of that question. So you're making good use of many different tools. What's the tool you wish you had? What's the thing that you wish you're waiting to discover the perfect tool to do this, either to run your agency or to become even better organized or to better continue to build your to build PeopleLift.
I think that the one that I would be like, they hit the track is creating a base or a automated service website, whichever it is, that can help be that liaison between candidates in all sectors, in all places, and those persons that want to hire them. I think that there's a lot of misconnection because a lot of people don't use our normal job sites platforms that we use to recruit, or we use to headhunt, or we use to create our own cells. So having that is something that, without being a lead generation spreadsheet, that it could be really helpful for all sides, because then we can continue to discuss topics, learn from each other, and continue to close those roles.
Have you looked at any tools that might fill that gap?
Yes, but it hasn't worked. And at this moment, we are in the tip of an iceberg to see if we created ourselves or we start working on other areas. Yes.
Terrific.
The good thing of being this type of role that I am in, dreaming is not impossible. You can dream as far as you want, and then the opportunity or the decision is this dream possible? How much it's going to cost, and how many work hours or other people that know about it, about my dream, can make it true. If we weren't dreamers, none of us would be here. So it's just like we need to be creative. We need to find alternatives that is not only the ones that are provided every single day, but all the other companies. We need to be able to do it.
I agree with you that it's a great time to be a big dreamer because every day there's more and more tools that are becoming available, like Calendly. Calendly was a great example of when I first encountered it, I thought, "Ooh, this is weird. Somebody's asking me to pick a date on their calendar for me to meet with them." But now that I use it as well, it's a wonderful tool to avoid that back and forth of, well, how about next Tuesday at 3 p.m.? Well, I'm not available then, but how about this? And the more of those tools that we can piece together, where it doesn't cost us a whole lot to use them, it to your point, makes the workday a little bit easier and gets us home to dinner on time so we can maintain that balance because there's plenty of demands throughout the day. So good.
Exactly.
Well, I wish you well in that search for that tool that bridges the gap between employers and candidates, especially as you said, for those candidates that don't use the traditional means of perhaps connecting. Maybe everyone's not on LinkedIn or looking at the job boards. How do we continue to make those connections between the talent that our companies need and the people that are out there that are quite talented, able to support other companies' growth?
Yeah, and we have to be realistic. There are a lot of companies as well here in the stateside and also in the island that they don't know how to use them. They have never used them because they were a mom and pop's shop that with the years and the hard work have gone to mid size or over our big manufacturing or organizations, and they have done the same procedure as in back in 1980 or 1990, and they are just about to retire. Second generation is coming in and they're like, oh my God, what I'm going to do now. So it's us being emphatic with them, be able to, I understand your pain points. This is what we can do. This is what we can offer you. And in amount of time, it can be even short-term contracts like three months of us counseling them, coaching them, and helping them out up to six to a year in order for them to be set to go and be ready, because what we want to know is for us to receive a call and, hey, you have done such a terrific job that we don't need you anymore.
Yes.
That is very good for us because that means that we did it right.
Always good to work yourself out of business, but they'll
Exactly.
also remember you because when they get to the next tough challenge, they'll say, who helped us with that last one? It was Catiana. We need to give her a call, or refer you to three other companies that have that same challenge.
Exactly. I remember everyone knows each other. So we need to be able to then help them out, understands them, and at the same time be able to be that link because they don't know. Probably the operations director or the owner is the one that runs all the employee functions. So they don't know about that they need to what they need to file any documentation while in the recruitment process. They don't know that every time you have a conversation with an employee, you need to document it in the employee's file. But that in the end, because they don't know, something happens and they're like, but I thought I did it correctly. Yeah, but you didn't. It wasn't well intended, but you didn't, and now it's going to cost you. So us coming in just to let them know and understand what is happening now is huge for them because they are saving. Yes, we are an investment. I always call ourselves an investment, but it can lower your fines or any other trouble that you're having with your employees just because you learn now how to do it properly.
You're there to help them not just modernize, but of course to stay compliant and to build out those better practices that perhaps more mature organizations take for granted. And you bring them
Exactly.
through that. And at the same time, we can provide you talent as well.
Exactly. Perfectly. And I can give you a quick example.
Please do.
With everything that is going down with the, since the new administration came in, I-9s are essential for everyone to have and fill it out correctly. And what I'm saying correctly is not only filling those paperworks that you need to, but also coming into the system to the e-verify and filled out that information there for them to be on compliance. A lot of people just fill out the paperwork. If they do, they can be incorrect. The IDs are not valid or they're expired. They don't know that they need to be creating that. If with everything that is going on, an audit can come in at any moment for any organization and be like, you're not in compliance. For each employee, it can cost you a fine. And they didn't do it because they didn't know. They just thought if they had the paperwork, even if they didn't have it or have whichever ID the candidate provided, that would be enough. So us coming in and telling them and explaining the why behind it, that it's not because HR wanted or Catiana as a consultant wanted to do this makes them more aware to be in compliance.
It sounds like a great example that everyone can relate to because with the new administration, there's been new focuses, and that is certainly a valuable service. It sounds like you've provided to those who weren't quite as diligent the first time around when they collected that information.
Yeah, and it's not because they don't know and that they didn't want to, it's because they didn't know that they needed to have it on a specific color ink or with the proper words or the person that the candidate couldn't fill out all those papers. Little things that they didn't know that is costing money at the long run.
Okay. Catiana, that brings me to an important question. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, they heard something today, they'd like to follow up, or maybe they'd like to reach out to get a little bit of help, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Of course, just the one I want to point out, a call, a text, a message is nothing is too small or too big for us to help them out or assist. You can do it via my LinkedIn profile, Catiana Ibarra Aponte. Latin community uses our second last name. But also as well, you can do it at Catiana at PeopleLift.com or by directly sending me a DM through Instagram, our website, Facebook, or even LinkedIn, and we'll get back to you.
Very good. So, Katiana, I will post those links when I post this video on YouTube and Spotify, and hopefully people reach out to you to further the conversation or get some of that help that their organization needs. Katiana, I've enjoyed speaking with you today. Thank you so much for being on this
It has
podcast.
been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, thank you.